Guys, you know what I hello, you know what I realized this morning? Because for those of you that don't know, I go to gym in the morning with my son and two of his friends, right? And the reason, I mean, obviously for health reasons and whatever you wanna do it, but it's got to do with loving the values that you are trying to instill in your kids. Now, something that our parents did very, very well, in fact, they still do it, is they live by the motto, do as I say, don't do as I do. And that is something that I try to break. And I can tell you now, guys, I'm not perfect. I'm freaking far from perfect. But what I can tell you is that as far possible, I teach my children by example. So just to give you some insight, yesterday we came from the gym, and so normally we get a smoothie every week, right? It's part of the vitality thing that we have for the gym memberships and all that. Oh, I think I don't know if the boys are on vitality, but I know that for every like 4 visits at the gym in the week, they set your target, and if you reach it, then you get a smoothie, right? Now every second week or so, if there's a budget, right, then I buy them a smoothie as well. So that week they get 2 smoothies. That just, it makes them feel good. It makes me feel good to be able to give to the ladies and all that, right? Though. So yesterday I told them, you know what, guys, the smoothie at Kauai at Virgin is actually quite expensive. It's like $78 each, right? Why don't we, and something I love is the KFC AM Deluxe burger. So on that burger is a fillet of chicken, a hash brown, cheese, and an egg. Fucking awesome. It's not too big, so you don't overeat yourself. It's a lekker start to the day. Okay, and as an alternative to, let's say, come and go sit in the spa and have breakfast there, it's quick, it's easy, it's lekker in the car, right though. Okay, fine. So yesterday so I told them, guys, you have a choice, right? Do you guys want your smoothies, or do you guys want a AM Deluxe burger? And I'll smart get your coffee with it as well, because I think that AM Deluxe burger is like $50 or something like that. The coffee, together with the coffee, it would have still been less than a smoothie at Kauai. Okay, so anyway, we all decide, right? KFC it is. Higatos. So we drive to KFC, which is around the corner from the school. It's actually on the way, and we get there, and KFC is not open yet. KFC only opens at 8. So I tell them, and I drop them at school. It's now 1 minute to 7. So I drop them at school, early. Anyway, the guys go, yeah, that's disappointing, blah, blah, blah. I take them to school. I say, guys, you know what? Come, I've got a plan with you. Tomorrow's a public holiday. Friday's a public holiday. Let's go to gym the morning at we don't have to go at 5 o'clock. Let's go at 7:30. Let's go at 7:30. It's raining. I want to do something different with you guys. Okay? So let's go to gym. From the gym, we take a drive down to Muizenberg or Fischhoek or St. James. We go do a cold plunge, right? And then from there, I'll get you guys your KFC and your coffee as promised. Then it's a lekker start to the public holiday, and it's nice and fun, right? It's something we all can do. Okay, lekker. And this morning, we at the school, and I tell them, guys, tomorrow, it's the fact that the day has started, we basically done with the day. Tomorrow we're doing the KFC thing, and they all get excited, and I asked them, do you guys you still want to do it? And they say, no, definitely. And that is when I said, we're still doing it. And Ethan said, no, you don't need to say. I know that if you say something, you do it. And I got a little lump in my throat, because that is how I want to be remembered by my kids. I want my kids to know that if daddy says something, that he's gonna do it. And that is something that I didn't have growing up. you know, my dad, you know, bless his heart, he tried to do a lot of things, and he used to tell us all the things that he is going to do as if it's going to happen. And me being a little boy looking up to my daddy as my hero, believed him. I believed every word my father said. And every time that my father didn't keep to his word, a little piece of me died inside. Every time. Every time my father promised me something, and it was time for him to fulfill that promise, and he didn't keep that promise, just a little bit of me died. To the point now where the relationship I have with my dad, although there is absolutely nothing wrong with the relationship, it is not as deep and it is not as solid as it could have been. Now, I do understand, and guys, I'm not blaming my father, I'm not holding it against him. I do understand that things happen, but something that I've learned is that I will rather not make the commitment. I will rather not set the expectation. And I will rather be remembered by my children as when daddy says he's going to do something, you don't have to worry. Consider it done. And that speaks to the type of man I want to be, the type of man I want my children to live up to. Not through words, but through example. Now, there's many other examples I can use, right? I can talk about the dedication I have to my wife. I can talk about the dedication I have to my family. I can talk about all those things, right? I can talk about all those things, and I can say that my children one day is not gonna look back at me as a man and say my daddy couldn't do that. My daddy couldn't do that. I want my children to look back at me with pride and say that my daddy made very good choices, and my daddy kept us in mind when making those choices. Right? And hopefully my boys will hold on to the little bit of that and become better. Just like I had to take the lessons from my father and become a better man in the process, and not walk around with excuses talking about my dad, he broke all his promises, my dad was never there for me, my dad chose his own happiness above the happiness of his family, and because my dad did that, I've got a victim mentality, therefore I'm doing the same. Because there's a lot of weak men out there walking around with that mindset. Now, I can't work for a boss because working for a boss is uncomfortable and it's not nice. Therefore, I will let my family starve. And I'll put all the pressure on my wife to go and work. And now you see my mental health, and you can hate me for it. I don't care. I don't care. Right? We are both stronger. We are both better. We are both for stress. We are both for strain. That's why we've got broader shoulders, so that we can carry a better weight. And I mean, this video is not a lecture or to let weak men feel bad, but it is to inspire other men out there that are of the same mindset. I'm not talking to the weak men. I'm not talking to the men that don't have time for their children. I'm not talking to men that will entertain themselves with other women's company or other women's attention while their wife is at home feeling inadequate because she's not enough. I'm not talking to those guys. Julle kan gaan slaap, die video's vir julle nie. I'm talking to the ones that want to do better. I'm talking to the ones that want to be out there making a difference first in their own children's lives, and then the lives of other children. And hopefully I will influence those other two boys as well to say that, while I was growing up, besides my daddy, there was that other uncle as well, Ethan's daddy, Uncle Cedric, and that guy taught me a little bit more. Just like I am completely happy that my son has got an uncle, two uncles that he can look up to. Because the more positive male influences boys have, the better men they become. That is why we have politicians out here walking around talking about, yeah, the children, but their own children is not getting the benefits of them being a father. Hulle was nie daar vir hulle eie kinders nie, but hulle supposedly daar vir ander mense se kinders. And they speak to the weak, and they speak to the broken, not to heal, but to stay broken. They speak to the broken to embrace their brokenness. And that is why I always shudder when I hear these men talking about, you guys don't think about men's mental health, and nobody is saying sorry, and nobody is saying thank you. I'm doing my best here, and nobody's giving me a participation trophy. Shut up and do better. Shut up and get stronger. Shut up and work harder. It is what it is, right? So, Rakwat, kom reg. I really don't care. But it is what it is.